Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to the ultimate 1v1 guide when it comes to Overwatch Mystery Duel. Now the first one we've got is Bastion. What you want to do with Bastion is be able to deploy before the enemy Bastion so you can unload loads of damage into them. You'll watch me do this in this clip. What I do is I jump and then deploy as I'm in the air. You can do this all over the map, like you can drop down, deploy, or like this. Look, I jump, I deploy, he's deployed there and I've killed him. It's really easy. The other thing with Bastion is you can poke away at them with your primary attack, build up your ultimate charge and then try and kill them with the tank. Now D.Va, this is a super interesting one. What you need to do with D.Va is very, very simple. You need to headbutt the enemy D.Va, so you need to charge into them with defense matrix up because that will slightly damage them, and then you want to completely and constantly keep firing. So you can see I wait for them, defense matrix up, I dive in, I headbutt them, I start firing at them, and I keep firing at them and keep hitting D.Va in the head. Never use defense matrix in a D.Va duel because you're just going to lose. Only use it to engage. And as you can see, I've got her out of a mech. I've got the advantage here. She's almost dead. Yeah, she's probably going to take me out of my mech, and then I'm going to be able to clean her up. That's how you win the D.Va duels. Don't run in and just start firing. And, like, never use defense matrix in the fight. Only use it when you charge in. Genji. Now, I'm not a pro Genji, so I will miss some melees with Genji. What you want to do with Genji, though, is it's all about landing the initial shurikens. If you can hit shurikens before you get in close, you will most likely win the fight, because the other Genji will have less health. See, I'm hitting shurikens. This is pretty good. I want to get close. I want to dash in. What I need to get in the habit of doing is dashing and then meleeing and all that stuff. I'm not a pro Genji, so I'm not going to do that. But you can see the theory is there. It's very simple, Genji. When you get close, start using your alternate fire to throw the shurikens in. Always dash. I see I almost meleeed him. If I caught the melee there, I would have won. But it's all about landing those initial hits, Genji is. Hanzo is pretty much Hanzo, right? You want to use the sonic arrow to be aware of where the enemy is, but remember this is a Hanzo duel, so you might land a couple of body shots and then it get instantly killed with a headshot. That's just the way Hanzo's going to go. It's very, I don't want to say it's random and I don't want to say it's luck, but it's very interesting. So you can see I've gone out first with the sonic arrow. I know where he is because he's firing arrows at me. He's hit me. It doesn't really matter. It's not a headshot. If it was a headshot, I'd be dead. But it's cool. It's not a headshot. We can keep firing back. And what I'm trying to do is use the terrain to my advantage. Don't ever stand out in the open with Hanzo. You want to be hiding behind stuff, showing only the smallest bit of your character hitbox to the enemy Hanzo, because if you show a lot, well, you're probably going to die. Now he's sort of using the same sort of position as me, but I'm using more cover. Can you see how he's standing in front of the like he's over there and he doesn't have the wall in front of him in these boxes? That's not clever. He should be using more cover. I'm using more cover, and luckily I get the kill, but really that was kind of luck. Hanzo can also go this way as well, which is pretty much typical Hanzo you're about to see. Even with the best plans in the world, you can just get Hanzo'd. These things happen to the best of us, ladies and gentlemen. It will happen to you, and when it does, just embrace it. I mean, I can see where he is, but what? Great. And also you get this as well. When people come at you and they start spouting memes at you, this is what happens. So, hey, Starlaser, here, fuck you, bye. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Sweet revenge, ladies and gentlemen. Watch this. This is beautiful. But again, this is just Hanzo, right? Fire at them, you may kill them. GG. Right, let's talk about Junkrat. Junkrat is a beautifully interesting one because you've got two options with Junkrat. You use the concussion bomb to travel, or you use the concussion bomb to throw at the enemy, because it's pretty much guaranteed damage. If they concussion bomb towards you, and you've still got your concussion bomb up, or your concussion mine, throw it at them and kill them with it. You'll see in this clip, though, I'm using it a lot for traversing the map. And what I'm trying to do is rely heavily on my ability to predict where the enemy Junkrat is going to go. It's fairly easy to know where Junkrat's going to go because of where he's spamming his bombs from. So, like, I know he's over there. He's probably going to go to the right now. I'm going to move back so I've got a bit more sort of space. I don't want to get caught up with his bombs. The concussion mine, though, is what this is all about. You use it offensively or you use it defensively. I can't really tell you what to do because it depends on how the game's breaking down. You can see this is more of a ranged Junkrat battle, so it's kind of okay to use the concussion bomb to jump around. As far as your trap goes, just throw your trap down wherever. If they get caught in the trap, they get caught in it. But I wouldn't play or bet on sort of your whole strategy around the trap. It's going to come down to you landing like bombs on the enemy, whether that's just your standard attack or a concussion bomb. So you can see here, he's jumped onto me. If I had my concussion bomb available, I would have thrown it at him there, but it was down because I used it to move. Again, I'm sort of anticipating where he's coming from, and I get the kill. That's what Junkrat is all about. Alright, let's move on to McCree. McCree is a pure reaction skill-based duel, but in fact this is probably one of my favourite duels. This is I'm going to give you a bit of advice here, though, and this is really good advice. Do not use the roll as your primary reload. Yes, sure, you can use it as the reload, but use it to quickly dive out of position and then start firing. It will be harder for the enemy McCree to anticipate that kind of reaction because you move really quick when you roll. So if you get lucky, yeah, you can jump around. And you'll notice, again, as with the Hanzo example, I'm liking to use this area because there's a lot of cover. I can sort of peek out and shoot. So you can see there, I rolled out and tried to get a shot on the enemy McCree. I missed, but it allowed me to sort of follow up. Now, in this clip, I'm going to show you me using the roll much more effectively, I do believe. So, again, what we're going to do is go into the fight. But instead of going on to the building that's to my left, just there, I'm going to go to the right-hand side. Again, with McCree, you want to use a lot of cover. He got there before me, so he probably rolled additionally just to get there, which is probably what I should have done. He got a hit onto me. It kind of doesn't matter if you get tagged when you're playing McCree, because you want to land headshots. Sort of like the Hanzo duel, right? Doesn't matter if you take a few body shots. Obviously, it does if you take body shots to the point of where one more shot will kill you. So try not to get a hit. But what you can see me doing here is rolling out. I am reloading, but then I'm rolling as well. This is because I want to just unsettle the enemy McCree. I want to roll and I want to catch him off guard. You'll notice that he rolls and I catch him on the roll here, which is just a pure reaction shot. So that was a pure reaction shot, and that a lot of McCree does come down to that. So if you lose a lot of McCree duels, don't worry so much. May, though, we've got some crazy tactics for May. What you want to do with May is only ever ice block when you have your wall available, because after you've ice blocked, the enemy May will run up to you and she will try to freeze you. At that point, you need to use your wall to get out of it, right? Whether that's you stand on top of the wall or putting the wall in her face. Watch what happens here. So we're going to exchange some right clicks. Yeah, you know, this is just sort of a little bit random. She's used the wall behind me. I've got 100 health, so I know I can use my ice block, and when she comes up to me, I can just wall in front of her. There's nothing she can do. So I'm back on 100% health, and I'm waiting for the enemy May, I'm going to call her McCree, to come down. Notice the first thing I did, freeze. Always freeze. Don't try and right-click at close range with May. Always freeze. May goes into a wall, into our ice block. She's got the wall available, but it's not enough to stop me coming, just simply walking around the wall and freezing her again. Whenever she is in the ice block, do not right-click. Always left-click. Always use the primary fire to freeze her. Pharah, she's a bit like McCree. She just comes down to pure skill. What you've got to do with Pharah is get airborne. The enemy Pharah will most likely get airborne. You don't really want to be running around on the floor. And you have to get really good at predicting where to fire. It's actually not that difficult, because if you watch Pharah, she moves in set ways, like so you can predict where she's going. And you can see what I'm kind of flicking the shots in. So we're going to show this again, which surprisingly I'm quite good with Pharah. I tend to win quite a lot of duels. What you need to do is just see the direction they're moving in and like adjust your aim accordingly and fire in that direction, and you'll most likely hit them mid-air. These rockets I'm putting in here are not very good. They're not really going to hit anyone. If anything, you could say that's kind of bad because it's giving away my position. So I'm waiting for my jump to become available. Let's go. So we're closing range. There's one hit. There's another flick. That's all she's really about. You can use your concussion blast as well to move around, so do be aware of that. Reaper, probably my least favourite duel. What you want to do with Reaper is, well, as soon as you see the enemy Reaper, fire at him. It doesn't matter about the range, because any kind of chip damage that you do will help you when you eventually get close to each other. So you can see he's miles away. I'm firing at him. I'm getting some damage onto him. It's nothing, right? It's literally no damage that I'm doing to him. But you may as well do it, because when you get close, that little extra bit of damage could be the thing which saves you, because as you can see, we're getting really close now. What we're going to do now is just try and headshot each other, and it just comes down to who lands the most headshots. I won by 15 damage. Well, I had 15 health left. You could say that the damage that I did at range made me win. Reinhardt is a super interesting one. I don't think I've lost a Reinhardt duel yet. You want to be patient with Reinhardt. What you want to do, right, is keep at range. So he's used his fire strike there. That's bad, right? I've used mine. Again, that's pretty bad. What you want to do is increase the range between you and the enemy Reinhardt when he's going to fire strike, and close the distance when you want to fire strike. This duel will be won off how many fire strikes you hit at the start. I've hit one, right? He's missed there. I'm going to move forward and throw my fire strike in. It's very difficult for you to move, right? He's dropped down and charged. I don't know why he's done that. So now we're going to punish him. So we're going to run after him, start smashing him with the hammer. Now, I'm being a little bit safe here. I've backed off because his charge is probably available. I didn't want to get charged and then hit with him. Maybe he might kill me. I doubt it because his health was so low. He's tried to charge me. You see, again, he's not patient, and I can just easily counter that. It was an easy win. So we're going to look again at another Reinhardt battle, because, as I said, what Reinhardt comes down to is using your fire strike when you're close to them and increasing the range when you know they're going to fire strike, so it's harder for them to hit, and also being aware of when to charge. So we both hit each other with a fire strike there, which is fine. We both go in and melee each other, so we're basically equal at this point, right? I'm going to back off. He's jumped down, too aggressive. Punish, punish, punish. If a Reinhardt is too aggressive, you can destroy them in 1v1 situations. Like, just be patient and play the fire strike game. Roadhog is all about the hooks, right? He who hooks first, say this with me, ladies and gentlemen, he who hooks first will lose the fight. This is because when you get hooked in, right, when the hook drops, you can primary fire them in the face, hook them, and then primary fire them again, and you will probably kill them. Now, you'll see in this duel that I am not the greatest Roadhog player because there are little windows of opportunity where I could probably have jumped on the Roadhog and killed him. So I've done quite a bit of damage to him there. I should have gone in and hooked him. I should have hooked him and left-clicked him now, and he would have been dead. Instead, I'm playing it conservatively. Yeah, it's fine. I'm going to heal. All right, let's play the long game. What I'm trying to do is focusing on when he uses his hook. Because if he uses his hook and he misses, well, then I can hook him back, and surely we'll have the win, right? Never be the first Roadhog to hook. Unless, like that example a little bit earlier where I should have hooked him, I could have dived onto him and killed him because he had no health. So he's used his hook there, but I haven't really been able to capitalize on it. The hook's going to be probably back up for him around about now, so I don't really want to go out. He's hooked me, though. I've hooked him, and I've left-clicked him. Remember, he who hooks first loses the fight. Soldier is a beautiful one. I actually really like Soldier, because Soldier comes down to quite a few things. It comes down to positioning, it comes down to knowing when to be aggressive, and it comes down to knowing when to put your biotic field down. So, you're going to be involved in a fight here. Again, and it also comes down to just raw mechanical accuracy. You've got to fire at the enemy soldier, but also be aware he is going to heal himself. What you want them to do is put their biotic field down, and you want to do enough damage to them that when the biotic field drops for them, they have lower health than you. Now, look at my health, look at his health, right? I had full health there. He's slightly lower than me, but only slightly. Now I know. Let's get aggressive. The heal is down. I've got a Helix rocket up. Let's go in. Because when biotic field is up, you don't want to engage soldier on his biotic field when you don't have your biotic field down. In this example, you will see the enemy soldier doesn't use his biotic field right, and he gets absolutely punished for this. So we rapidly close range here. So we're on top of each other. I've got my biotic field down. He's got his down. I'm fighting him. He's actually moved out of his biotic field there, so I can do damage to him. By the time he comes back, it's still down. You see, he had low health. I really didn't, so I can finish him off. Always stay in your biotic field, guys, when it's down. Never leave it. Unless, like, I don't know, you've got some sort of crazy reason why, but just don't leave it. Sombra is a beautiful duel. There are a couple of things I want to show you in this, guys. When Sombra is invisible and you drop the invis, there is an audio cue. So you can hear when the Sombra, like, if we listen, we'll hear it in a second. Also, I use the teleporter defensively here. Listen. There, that was the cue. So I know that she's dropped out of invis, and I knew that she was to the right of me. Right, there she is, and I want to do enough damage to her here to critically injure her, so if she runs away, I can see her. But because I put my translocator down in a great position, I could jump back, confuse her, and kill her. Now this is being aggressive with Sombra, so that you can say that was a defensive play there with the teleporter. This, though, is going to be a highly aggressive Sombra. So, I'm going to run out the doors, I'm going to go invis so I can move faster, and I'm going to run towards the back, throw my teleporter into the sort of enemy's half of the map. I heard it to the left there, teleport over here. So, we're trying to look for her, right? She tries to hack me. Never try to hack in Sombra duels. Don't bother. Just fire and do damage. Look at this. I've done enough damage to her, so I know where she is now. So, even though when she goes invisible that I can't see it, it's cool, right? Well, hang on a minute. What's that? That's the translocator. So I know that she's going to teleport there. But I've got a major advantage here. If you do enough damage in the first engagement, take her below 50% health, you will always win the Sombra fight because you've got a wall hack, right? Symmetra is an interesting one. The first clip, I'm just going to show you a crazy aggressive Symmetra. The Symmetra that lands the primary attack on the other Symmetra first will win, unless that Symmetra has some sort of a nest, which you run into, a nest of turrets that is, and you take a ton of damage as well. Watch this. She comes through, I've got my left click on, I've won. She's going to back off to her turrets, but it's cool, it doesn't matter. Like, I knew I was going to kill her, so I could just run through. I expected turrets to be there, it's cool. Now this one is a pretty long clip, because this is how Symmetra duels are going to go. When people are playing to win and not just sort of running in like me, like a crazy person. You will deploy all of your turrets, but what you want to do is drop your turrets around. I mean, there's two ways you can do this, right? You can build a nest, so if Symmetra runs through, she takes a ton of damage. Remember, though, Symmetra is half a health is shield, so it will regenerate. But if she does take damage, you can somehow manage to drop the left click onto her, or the primary attack, then you will obviously win because you'll get the extra damage of the turrets. What I like to do, though, is drop the turrets all over the map. Because it sort of gives me vision, I guess. So if she runs through a turret, I kind of know where she is, so I can move back to that location. Turrets are not really going to win you the game. The thing that wins you the game with Symmetra is applying that primary attack. Your alternate fire, it's too easy to dodge. Like, if you get hit by that, that's very unlucky, and then usually you want to follow up. What you will see in this clip is we're being very defensive here. This is sort of what happens with Symmetra when you're, both players are really playing to win. you can't really go in. You can't really just run up to each other and kill each other. So we're sort of walking around the map trying to find where the enemy's turrets are and trying to take them out. Of course, in terms of building your ultimate with Symmetra, it doesn't really matter because it's a teleporter. It's not really going to do anything. It's not going to help you win the game. So, you know, whereas in the example of like a Bastion, you can take damage, heal yourself and all of that, and then go into tank mode and kill the enemy Bastion with tank mode. Symmetra, you just really need to get close, hit them with like some sort of attack, and then follow up. Like maybe if they get tagged by a turret, you rush in and left click, because provided they have got less health than you, you will win. This is what a lot of Symmetra duels, Sombra, I've got Sombra on the brain. What a lot of Symmetra duels do come down to, from my experience, spamming the alternate fire without charging it up. Because you'll notice if you get hit by like 2 of these, 3 of these, it's going to remove your shields, then you're going to take damage, and then you want to run in and try and do as much damage as possible. It's not exciting, but yeah, it's kind of the way that these things go down. You'll notice that the enemy Symmetra is starting to just fire the heavy charge at me, and it's like, we're not really hitting each other. But you've just got to stay patient. You've got to wait for that opportunity, and that opportunity is about to hit. So with a minute to go, you can see where each other are. It doesn't really matter, because we know where each other are anyway, and we're just firing at each other. See, I tagged her there. It's not the greatest, because she's just going to regenerate a shield. So what I'm going to do is fully charge this time, because I know we're getting close. Maybe I can hit her. Maybe I can tag her. If I tag her, I can just go. It is absolutely go time at this point. I'm just going to dive onto her and do as much damage as I can. So she's trying to hit me. I'm still trying to, you know, get a little bit of a tag there with the alternate fire. I can see there's a turret down there. Don't really like that. Just generally firing my alternate fire at her. And it's sort of hard to give you tips with Symmetra, because it's just about knowing when to go. And the big tip is about to come up, unless you want to play a highly aggressive Symmetra like I just did. So we're going to be firing the alternate fire here. And it's going to hit her. Right, it's hit her. It's go time. It's go time. Go, 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 go. She has no shield. She's under half health. We just need to run in and apply our left click or our primary fire. We win. That's what Symmetra's all about, knowing when to go. You will know when to go, ladies and gentlemen. If you hit them, dive on them and kill them. Now, Torbjorn, he's a funky one. Torbjorn's actually not a bad duel. What you want to do with Torbjorn is think about where you want to place your turret to begin with. And you also don't want to engage unless you've got your armor pack up. So what I'm thinking here is, you know what, I'm going to back off. I'm going to drop my turret here. It's got quite a bit of cover, but the turret actually covers the right-hand side. So I'm going to run over to the right-hand side. So if we break out into a fight there, my turret will actually cover that. So I'm waiting for my armor pack. Always wait for your armor pack. Don't just run in and start attacking them without that. That's not clever. I can hear that he's over here, so we can start fighting now. Watch my turret, will lock onto him now. He's going to move around the side to try and get me. My turret's attacking him. Extra damage. I managed to kill him with a rivet gun. That's sort of how you play Torbjorn. Drop your turret down, upgrade it, give yourself an armor pack, and then go in. Tracer is another skill-based one. You need to get as many hits on the enemy Tracer as possible. But always keep your blink available. Apart from at the start of the game, you can fully blink forward, and that's cool, right? But now you need blinks available. Don't ever fully expend your blinks unless you're in sort of do or die, a duel to the death kind of thing, where it's coming right down to the wire. Then you can maybe jump around. What you want to do is do as much damage at range. You want to chip away at the enemy Tracer, because Tracer fights come down to rewind. You want to rewind, not when they've rewound. Don't worry about what the enemy Tracer's doing. When you've taken damage, rewind, right? Because you always want to keep yourself as topped up as possible. Look, the enemy Tracer has less health than me. I went back up to 150 after that rewind. She didn't. Now we're starting to engage. We're taking damage. Basically, I'm spamming rewind at this point. I really want to rewind. So I've recovered a little bit of health, and we win. That is what Tracer fights come down to. Widowmaker is all about accuracy. One thing I'd avoid doing with Widowmaker is firing your Venom Mine off, because it gives away your position. And also running out into the open and doing it, as you'll see here. Because she fires a Venom Mine off and I just kill her. Widow is just about skill. You can use the central tower to jump up with your grappling hook and fire down. That can be a little bit dodgy, because if the enemy Widow is waiting for you, she can just take you out quite easy. Winston is a really interesting one. You think this would be a pretty bad duel, but it's not. It's really interesting. What you want to do with Winston is, like, he's used his jump. I'm going to jump onto him straight away, land on him, do damage to him as you land, and then hit him with the primary fire of Winston. Don't bother deploying your shield. It doesn't make any difference. It's not going to stop the Tesla cannon. Then what you want to do is, whenever the Winston jumps, you've got to jump as well, because you don't want him to land onto you, because that extra damage will kill you. Now you can see we're very, very low, right? We've pretty much been doing as much damage to each other, but look at that. We're super, super low. In fact, we might even be even in terms of how low we are. It's all about applying the Tesla. I applied mine first there. Winston is really great. Now Zarya, oh my god, Zarya. You want them to bubble, but you don't want to attack them when they bubble, and then you want to bubble, right? You almost want to bubble when you see like an attack coming in. So if you see a alternate fire coming in, one of the orbs, maybe bubble, right? So you get the extra damage to fire back at her. Because what you've got to do in this is, it all comes down, in my experience, to hitting them with as many alternate fires as possible before you get into a close range battle. And then when you're close range, you want to predominantly use the primary fire, so the beam attack, and sometimes use the right click just to knock them about and mess them up. See, she damaged me then. She gave me charge. You're never going to get a lot of charge in this duel, but charge will win this game. Whichever Zarya has the most charge will do the most damage and will beat the enemy Zarya. Because remember, it's a mirror match. So, look, I'm okay at this point in time. I haven't really taken any damage to myself because my shield's just regenerating, and it's cool. But so's the enemy Symmetra, the enemy Zarya. Look at that, though. She did too much damage to me there. Whenever you see the bubble, immediately stop firing in this duel. You do not want to fire, because this is giving me more damage to put out onto it. And I've almost managed to... I think I've just destroyed his shields there. So I'm actually doing damage to it, I think. Yeah. Oh, her shields are starting to regenerate. I did a little bit of damage to her there, which I shouldn't have done when the bubble was up. But look at the difference there. Look at how far I'm ahead. Because I'm not doing as much damage to her when she's bubble, and she's damaging me back, and I'm reflecting that damage back to her effectively. I really, really enjoy Zarya duels. Zenyatta is all about the Discord Orb. One thing I should do at the start of this game, though, is charge up my secondary fire. I should be charging it up now, anticipating him coming around the corner, and then firing it off, and I don't. What I'm prioritizing, though, is the Discord Orb. Obviously, if you break line of sight, the Discord Orb will be returned. So whenever you get it on you, you need to break line of sight fast to allow it to drop. The enemy Zenyatta is not really doing this very well. Look, he's moving around. He's allowing me to keep sight on him. So look how long my Discord Orb is on him. Yes, sure, the Discord Orb's on me as well, but I've got a lot of cover. I mean, we're really close, right? It's going to come down to who lands the last hit. And generally, it does do that with Zenyatta because he's so sort of weak. Alright, guys. This has been a 1v1 ultimate guide. Now, there isn't Anna in this at the moment because she's not in the duel mode. Mercy and Lucio are also not in it, but I hope they get added. And I'm actually going to make a video asking Blizzard to do that because I don't really see why they're not in it, considering people like Bastion are in it and they can heal themselves. Anyway, guys, I'm Mr. So this is Unit Lost. If you enjoyed the video, then like the video, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming. And I will catch you on the next one, guys. Toodaloo.